Yo, what's up guys? Jeff here, and before we get into the video, I just want to thank y'all for the support on my last vid. When I hit that upload button on Thursday, I truly felt like it was a coin flip on what was going to happen, and I just feel very fortunate things went the way they did. Over the past 7 years, I didn't even lose 10,000 subscribers, and channels usually decay way more than that. And I think that just speaks to you guys and the super homies you are, and the fact that you never gave up on me, and I appreciate it. And now I just want to put in the work and prove myself. So, yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about the man, the myth, the throwing knife god, aka Handler. So, I met him back in 2011 through a mutual friend known as Only the Knife, aka Freeman, and you guys might remember I did a dual commentary with him. And at the time, I must have been 16 or 17, and he was 13 or 14. But I was kind of initially struck by just how good he was with throwing knives on such a high sensitivity in the Modern Warfare 2 and 3 days. And back in the day, he was actually a knifer as well, and his OG gamer tag was Knife Handler. And I actually gave him a shout out back in 2012, and I'll put a link down below in the video. And it's around the 5-minute mark when I mention him. But yeah, he was on my radar back then. And yeah, guys, I just kind of like to really play with good players back in the day. I played with Prodigy Joey a lot, True Scopes, Knife Handler, Relaxing End for Zombies, and I just feel like surrounding yourself with sick players can make you better in turn. And it's a lot of fun too. Like, I played with some crazy motherfuckers. So anyway, then in 2013 we kind of go our separate ways, and I think Ryan took a couple years off gaming and came back a bit during BO3. But he really got back into the swing of things around BO4. And then shortly after Black Ops 4 launched, I get a friend request from a guy called Handler K, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then the gears kind of start turning, and I'm like, wait, there's no way that's Knife Handler. And then I message him, and sure enough, it is. And, it was just really nice reconnecting with an old friend after 5 years. And then we started just immediately playing a lot of Black Ops 4 Search. And that was really fun for about 2 months. We almost never lost, and it wasn't because we were insanely good. Like, we were pretty good, but it was more just the fact that the game was too easy. 5v5 was just too predictable, and for Search, we just basically had it down to a science. And there's just something about 6v6 and that extra person that makes a huge difference, and is the X factor. And let's be honest, everyone wants to get a 1v6 and not really a 1v5. It just doesn't have that same ring or weight to it. So yeah, we kind of did that for a couple months, and then we sort of got burned out, and then we moved on to Blackout, and we never looked back. Both Handler and I, that was our first real BR experience, and it was fucking awesome, Blackout did so many things right in my eyes, and I just loved how realistic the bullet drop was, and you actually had to lead your shot at distance, and it was just very satisfying to get kills in. And yeah, him, me, Slayed by Blade, and my friend Sari, who actually only eats potato chips for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. True story, by the way. We were kind of the dream team among our friends, and we just enjoyed going for win streaks in Blackout, and it's one thing to get a win streak going in Search, but it's another thing entirely trying to do that in a BR. Like, there's just so many factors out of your control and randomness, and I think the best streak in regular quads we got was 6 or 7, and then in Hot Pursuit and Alcatraz we'd win a lot too, just because, DLC weapons are OP. Specifically the Locust having almost no bullet drop and instant travel time. It was just crazy, man. But yeah, Handler was uploading during this time, and I was there when he was getting 300 views a video, and he was just doing it for fun and just posting some of our best moments and sickest games. But yeah, anyway, then a couple months go by and Modern Warfare comes out, and we all start playing S&D like always. And he continues to post to his channel, and I actually see some comments on his videos saying he found out about the snake shot before a lot of other people. And you want to know why he found out about him? It's because I told him. I was one of those weirdos that went to get the shotguns and pistols platinum before anything else, because, I don't know, I just like low-tier weapons in COD. And that's when I saw it. And the OG snake shot was basically a Black Ops 3 Marshall on crack, and it was so fun to use. And even now, it's still decent too. But anyway, around this time in December, Handler's channel started to pick up a little, and he was getting almost 1,000 views a video at this point. And then his initial snake shot video and an S&D clutch video were kind of popping off, and like, you know, relatively speaking compared to everything else on his channel at the time. But yeah, and then he just kept at it for the next couple months, just gradually increasing his following, and everything was just kind of slowly but surely going up. And then in March, things just kind of exploded and took off. Like, he was off to the races, and my theory on why that happened is this. Handler is as good as the big YouTubers, but he doesn't necessarily have the ego or attitude to go along with it, and I think that's just really refreshing to a lot of people. You know, it's all business on his channel. Like, he just uploads sick gameplay and has a chill taste in music. And there is truth in advertising on his videos, you know? There's no deceiving thumbnail or misleading title or any of that shit. And like, what you see is what you get, and I think it just kind of reminds people the way things used to be. And yeah. So, like, I just couldn't be happier for him, to be honest, you know? From my point of view, he's already passed me up on YouTube. But I'd like to think I did mentor him in some ways. Like, not necessarily on the gameplay side of things, but just more on the how to treat people and, you know, dealing with YouTube. And, like, you know, not letting the numbers get to you or change anything. You know, at the start of the year, he was at 20k subs, and now he's pretty close to 100, and that's nuts. And, you know, when me and Handler play games and just chill in parties with our friend group, it's very reminiscent of the 360 days, and, you know, just hanging in OG 360 parties with your friends and shooting the shit. And, you know, maybe we're not always politically correct, but it's all in good fun. And, you know, isn't the whole point of gaming just, you know, to chill with your boys and have a good time, right? So yeah, guys. And then also on a personal note, like, if I'm being perfectly honest, without Handler, there would be no TGWC coming back to YouTube. A while back, he hit me up and he's like, "Hey Jeff, what's your address?" And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "I want to send you something." So I'm like, "Okay." And then a few weeks go by and I get a package and I open it up and it's a capture card. And then I immediately hit him up and I'm like, "Hey man, let me compensate you for this." And he's just like, "No man, I just want you to have that." And you know, I thought it was a really nice gesture. And, you know, Handler's just kind of gone above and beyond helping me and just, like, reminding me how to use Vegas and just kind of showing me how YouTube works in 2020 and all that shit. So, yeah, guys, if you can just leave some comments on his next video saying, you know, like, TGWC owes you for life or something like that. Because it's fucking true, man, and he's just such a homie. And anyway, guys, that's about all I have to say. I'm thinking about doing this style of video on a few more people that I knew pretty well back in the day. And if you want to see that, let me know. And to close out the video, guys, I want to show you some of the sickest clips I've ever seen Handler hit live. And if you're a Handler sub, you might not have seen these before because this was before he blew up. So yeah, enjoy, and thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
There's a dude in the building, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck was that? That was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. That was insane! You just clipped us, dude. What the fuck was that? Oh my lord. What the fuck? Holy shit!
We're gonna let our boy Log just be there like that?
Oh,
Coming up the stairs? You're so fucked, right?
Do it, pussy. He's hungry. Okay. Oh my.
I'm the best.